Right now, while you're watching this, there are plants sitting quietly on windowsills across America that our grandparents knew could save a doctor's visit, soothe a burn in seconds, or clear the air of toxins we can't even see. We've forgotten what they knew instinctively, that the most powerful pharmacy isn't behind a counter, it's growing in a terracotta pot on your kitchen counter. These aren't exotic specimens shipped from distant jungles. These are houseplants you can find at any garden center, and they've been healing humans for thousands of years before we ever thought to bottle their secrets. If you're ready to turn your home into a living apothecary, hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss a video. Hey there, plant lovers, I'm thrilled you're here. And if this resonates with you, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up so more people can discover these incredible healers. Let's start with one that's probably already in your home, hiding in plain sight with powers you might not fully appreciate. Aloe Vera sits on bathroom shelves and kitchen windowsills across the country, looking humble and unassuming with those thick, spiky leaves that seem almost architectural in their symmetry. Break open one of those leaves, and you'll find a clear gel that's been used for over 6,000 years to heal burns, cuts, and skin irritations. Ancient Egyptians called it the plant of immortality, and Cleopatra supposedly used it as part of her daily beauty regimen. What makes aloe so remarkable is its speed. That gel goes to work immediately, cooling inflamed skin, accelerating healing, and forming a protective barrier that keeps infection at bay. When you have a kitchen burn from a hot pan or too much sun exposure from a weekend working in the garden, nothing works faster than slicing off an aloe leaf and applying that fresh gel directly to your skin. The relief is almost instant, like nature's own burn cream without the pharmacy trip. Growing aloe in your home couldn't be simpler, which is part of its genius. This plant thrives on neglect in the best possible way. Place it in a bright spot where it gets indirect sunlight. Near a south or west-facing window works beautifully, and water it deeply but infrequently. The biggest mistake people make with aloe is overwatering, treating it like a thirsty fern when it's actually a succulent that stores water in those fat leaves. Let the soil dry completely between waterings, and in winter you can water even less, maybe once every 3 weeks. Aloe prefers well-draining soil, so mix regular potting soil with perlite or coarse sand to keep those roots from sitting in moisture. If you notice the leaves turning brown or mushy, you're watering too much. If they're thin and curling inward, give them a drink. The plant will tell you what it needs if you pay attention. Here's something most people don't realize. Aloe isn't just for skin. Some species are safe to consume in small amounts and have been used traditionally to support digestive health, though you should always research your specific variety and consult with a healthcare provider before ingesting any plant. The gel contains vitamins, enzymes, amino acids, and compounds that research suggests may have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Have you ever harvested aloe from your own plant? Or are you still buying those bottles at the store? There's something deeply satisfying about cutting a leaf when you need it, knowing exactly where it came from, and that it contains nothing but pure, fresh plant gel. But before we move on, let me share something that might completely change how you see your next houseplant. Most people buy plants for decoration, but what if I told you the next one on our list has been proven by NASA scientists to remove formaldehyde, benzene, and carbon monoxide from indoor air, making it one of the most powerful natural air purifiers you can grow. Spider plants dangle their striped leaves like green and white ribbons, sending out runners with baby plantlets that seem to float in mid-air. And while they look delicate and ornamental, they're workhorses when it comes to cleaning your home's atmosphere. Back in the late 80s, NASA conducted extensive research on houseplants to determine which species could best purify air in sealed environments like space stations. Spider plants topped the list for their ability to absorb harmful chemicals that off-gas from furniture, carpets, paint, and cleaning products. Think about what's floating around in your home right now. Volatile organic compounds from that new couch, formaldehyde from pressed wood furniture, benzene from detergents and plastics. We can't see them or smell them, but they're there, and spider plants are quietly filtering them out 24 hours a day. Just one spider plant can purify the air in a 200-square-foot room. And because they produce so many babies, you can propagate them endlessly and create a whole network of air purifiers throughout your house without spending another dime. Beyond air purification, spider plants have been used in traditional medicine to treat burns and inflammation. Caring for spider plants is almost effortless. They tolerate a range of light conditions from bright indirect light to partial shade, though they produce more babies in brighter spots. Water them when the top inch of soil feels dry, usually once a week during growing season. They're forgiving if you forget occasionally. Those thick roots store moisture. Here's a bonus tip. Those dangling baby plants aren't just decorative. You can snip them off once they develop small roots and plant them in their own pots, creating an endless supply of air-purifying plants to share with friends or fill every room of your house. Do you have a spider plant already working hard in your home? Or is this inspiring you to pick one up? Now let's talk about a plant that doesn't just clean your air, but has been used for centuries to calm anxious minds and help people sleep. And you can grow it right on your kitchen counter. Lavender might seem like it belongs in sprawling fields in Provence, but compact varieties thrive indoors as long as you give them what they crave: bright light and good air circulation. The scent alone has been scientifically shown to reduce anxiety, lower heart rate, and improve sleep quality. Multiple studies have found that inhaling lavender can decrease cortisol levels and promote relaxation. Before we had pharmaceutical sleep aids, people tucked sachets of dried lavender into their pillows or brewed it into evening tea. Growing lavender indoors takes a bit more attention than spider plants or aloe, but the rewards are worth it. Lavender wants plenty of sunlight, at least 6 to 8 hours daily. A south-facing window is ideal, and if you don't have enough natural light, consider a grow light. The soil needs to drain exceptionally well. Mix regular potting soil with sand or perlite, about 1 part amendment to 2 parts soil. Water only when the soil is dry an inch or 2 down, and err on the side of underwatering. Here's something wonderful. You can harvest the flowers just as they begin to open for the most potent fragrance and hang them upside down in bundles to dry. Use them in sachets, homemade bath salts, or steep them for tea. What would you use fresh lavender for in your home? Sleep support, natural fragrance, or something else entirely? But here's where things get really interesting, because the next plant I want to share with you has been used for over 4,000 years to treat everything from headaches to digestive problems, and it grows so enthusiastically that your biggest challenge will be keeping it contained. Peppermint brings that unmistakable cooling sensation wherever it goes. And whether you're brewing it into tea for an upset stomach, crushing fresh leaves to ease a tension headache, or simply enjoying its invigorating scent, this plant earns its place in any home apothecary. The active compound menthol has been extensively studied and shown to relax digestive muscles, relieve gas and bloating, ease nausea, and even help with headaches when applied topically. Peppermint grows vigorously indoors with minimal fuss, making it ideal for anyone wanting fresh medicinal herbs year-round. Place it in a bright spot with several hours of sunlight daily, though it tolerates partial shade better than lavender. The key to success with peppermint is keeping the soil consistently moist but not waterlogged. Think of a wrung-out sponge. It appreciates humidity, so it's perfect for kitchens or bathrooms where moisture levels naturally run higher. Container growing is actually preferable for peppermint because in gardens, it spreads aggressively through underground runners and can take over entire beds. In a pot, you control it completely. Pinch back the stems regularly to encourage bushy growth and prevent it from getting leggy, and those pinched leaves go straight into your tea or recipes. Here's something most people don't know. Peppermint flowers are edible too, with a milder flavor than the leaves, and they're beautiful scattered over salads or frozen into ice cubes for summer drinks. Have you ever grown your own peppermint? Or have you been buying those expensive bunches at the grocery store when you could harvest it fresh from your windowsill? Speaking of plants that surprise people with their healing power, let me introduce you to one that's been quietly sitting in office buildings and living rooms for decades, looking decorative while secretly working overtime to purify your air and provide medicinal benefits. The snake plant, also called mother-in-law's tongue, stands upright like architectural sculpture with striking vertical leaves striped in shades of green, yellow, and silver. This plant is nearly indestructible, thriving on neglect. But what makes it truly special is that, unlike most plants, it releases oxygen at night rather than during the day. That means it's actively improving your bedroom air while you sleep. And NASA research confirmed it removes toxins like formaldehyde, benzene, and trichloroethylene from indoor environments. In traditional medicine, particularly in West Africa and parts of Asia, snake plants have been used to treat various ailments. The leaves contain compounds with anti-inflammatory properties, and some cultures have used them topically for wounds or burns. Though this isn't common practice in the United States, what American gardeners appreciate most is how this plant purifies air better than almost any other houseplant while requiring virtually zero maintenance. You can travel for weeks, forget to water it, keep it in low light, and it just keeps going. Snake plants prefer indirect light, but tolerate everything from bright sun to deep shade. Water sparingly, maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, allowing the soil to dry completely between waterings. In winter, you might water once a month or less. Overwatering is the only real way to kill this plant. So when in doubt, skip the watering. They're not fussy about temperature, handling anything from 50 to 85 degrees comfortably. Here's a wonderful bonus. Snake plants propagate easily from leaf cuttings, so you can create new plants by simply cutting a leaf into sections and placing them in soil. Does knowing that snake plants release oxygen at night make you want to add one to your bedroom. Now, let me tell you about something that might change how you think about common houseplants forever. Because what I'm about to share has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for thousands of years and is finally getting recognition in Western research for its ability to support everything from blood sugar to inflammation. Holy basil, also called tulsi, looks similar to the sweet basil you use in cooking, but carries an entirely different set of medicinal properties. This adaptogenic herb has been revered in India as a sacred plant, and modern science is discovering why our ancestors valued it so highly. Studies suggest holy basil may help the body manage stress, support healthy blood sugar levels, reduce inflammation, and even boost immune function. The leaves contain compounds like eugenol, orsolic acid, and rosmarinic acid that demonstrate powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects in research. Growing holy basil indoors gives you a steady supply of this remarkable herb throughout the year. It loves warmth and sunshine, so place it in your sunniest window, where it gets at least 6 hours of direct light daily. Holy basil appreciates consistently moist soil, so water when the top half-inch feels dry, and don't let it completely dry out between waterings like you would with succulents. It thrives in normal household temperatures but dislikes cold drafts, so keep it away from air conditioning vents in summer. Pinch back the growing tips regularly to encourage branching and prevent flowering, because once it flowers, leaf production slows down. You can harvest leaves continuously for tea, which is how most people use holy basil medicinally, steeping fresh or dried leaves in hot water for a calming, slightly spicy drink. Here's something fascinating. Holy basil is considered an adaptogen, meaning it may help your body adapt to stress, rather than simply masking symptoms, working with your system rather than against it. Would you be willing to try growing holy basil and brewing your own stress relief tea? Now, here's something that'll make you look at your garden herbs differently, because rosemary isn't just for roasting chicken or potatoes. It's been used since ancient times to improve memory, concentration, and cognitive function. The ancient Greeks had students wear rosemary wreaths during exams, believing it sharpened the mind. And modern research is actually backing up this ancient wisdom. Studies show that compounds in rosemary, particularly one called mon-8-cineol, may enhance memory performance and increase alertness. The scent alone has been shown in research to improve cognitive performance and mood. Beyond brain benefits, rosemary has powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, and it's been used traditionally to support digestion and circulation. Growing rosemary indoors gives you year-round access to this potent medicinal herb. It needs lots of light, at least 6 hours daily, so your brightest window is essential. Rosemary is Mediterranean, which means it prefers life on the drier side. Water thoroughly when the top inch of soil dries out, but never let it sit in soggy soil. Good drainage is critical. Rosemary appreciates air circulation and doesn't mind cooler temperatures, actually thriving in rooms that stay between 60 and 70 degrees. If your home is dry during winter, occasional misting helps prevent the needles from drying out. Here's a tip that makes a huge difference. Prune regularly to keep the plant bushy and harvest those clippings for cooking or tea. Rosemary can get woody and sparse if left untrimmed, so think of harvesting as plant care. You can dry the stems by hanging them upside down or use them fresh, and they'll fill your home with that distinctive pine-like fragrance that's been proven to boost mental clarity. Have you noticed how just the scent of rosemary seems to wake up your mind? But I saved one plant for last that might surprise you more than all the others combined, because while it looks exotic and tropical, it's actually one of the easiest medicinal plants you can grow indoors. And it's been used for centuries to heal everything from minor wounds to respiratory issues. The jade plant sits on windowsills across America, appreciated for its thick, glossy leaves and tree-like appearance, but few people realize this succulent has a long history in traditional medicine. In some cultures, the leaves have been used topically for skin conditions, warts, and minor cuts. The plant contains compounds with antibacterial and antiviral properties, though most Americans simply enjoy it as an attractive, low-maintenance houseplant that some believe brings good luck and prosperity. What makes jade particularly special is how it embodies the principle that the best medicine often requires the least effort. Jade plants thrive with minimal care, making them perfect for busy people who want healing plants without high demands. They need bright light, ideally several hours of direct sun daily, which makes them happy in south or west-facing windows. Water deeply but infrequently, allowing the soil to dry completely between waterings. In winter, water even less, maybe once every 3 weeks. Jade stores water in those plump leaves, so it handles drought far better than overwatering. Use a well-draining succulent soil mix and make sure your pot has drainage holes. Room temperature suits jade perfectly, and it appreciates cooler nights, which can actually encourage blooming if you're lucky enough to see those delicate pink or white star-shaped flowers. Here's something wonderful. Jade plants live for decades, even generations, growing slowly into substantial specimens that can be passed down through families. Some jade plants are over 50 years old, standing 2 or 3 feet tall, living testaments to patient care. Can you imagine growing a medicinal plant that might outlive you and get passed down to your grandchildren? So there you have it, 8 powerful medicinal houseplants that can transform your home into a living pharmacy while purifying your air and adding natural beauty to every room. We've journeyed from the instant burn relief of aloe vera to the air-purifying power of spider plants, from the sleep-inducing calm of lavender to the digestive support of peppermint, from the oxygen-releasing snake plant to the stress-relieving holy basil, the memory-boosting rosemary, and finally, to the long-lived jade with its quiet healing presence. These aren't complicated exotic specimens requiring perfect conditions. They're accessible, forgiving plants that work with your lifestyle while offering genuine health benefits, backed by both traditional wisdom and modern science. Growing them connects us to something ancient and profound, the understanding that nature provides what we need if we simply make space for it in our lives. Which of these medicinal plants speaks to you most? And will you start with one that addresses a specific need, or simply choose the one that captures your imagination? If this video opened your eyes to the healing potential growing right on your windowsill, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might benefit. And don't forget to subscribe so we can continue exploring the incredible world of plants together.